She's on Ozempic? Yeah. Just look up Mila and the fam Ozempic. Hello guys, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Welcome back to another video. If this is your first time watching one of my videos, nice to meet you. My name is Mila, mostly known as Mila and the fam. Guys, if you guys know, you know. I feel like this has been one of my most asked questions and one of my most wanted videos. Rumors are true. I did Ozempic, just finished being on Ozempic actually. Tomorrow's gonna be 2 weeks since I ended my journey with Ozempic. I'm just gonna talk about my experience. I'm not trying to put anyone or convince anybody to do this type of treatments. Guys, you guys have been on my ear telling me, please, 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 please. And so here I am. I'm delivering, okay? I am delivering. Why did I got on Ozempic? I actually did a video on TikTok talking about it for the very first time. That video didn't do as well in terms of the comments. They were just saying not really nice things, and so because that happened, I was kind of like confused as of what to do, if I should kept on sharing my journey with Ozempic or if I should just keep things for myself. So the way that I proceed after was that I wasn't really giving a lot of information, but I was not keeping to myself that I was on Ozempic, if that makes sense. I'd kind of like awoke a lot of questions. Also the transformation. I mean, I've looked at my videos in the past and looked at my videos now and look at myself now, and it's crazy the transformation. It's wild. It's no secret that I have a daughter. Ever since I had her, I've been dealing with a lot of insecurities about my weight. After having her, I was not taking good care of myself. It just really got to the point where like I looked at myself in the mirror and I wouldn't recognize the person standing in the mirror for the longest time. So I feel like I was deeply depressed and I was constantly trying to fight out of that depression that I was in. My father-in-law got into Ozempic, I want to say it was last year. He tells me about it and I started questioning as of like, wow, that's crazy that you can get with a medication and you can go down in pounds so much. I was very like curious, like how do you do it? How would it work? This and that. I kept on asking all these questions. I mentioned it to a couple people around me. I mentioned it to my mom. I mentioned it to my sister. I mentioned it to Cyrus, and they were all very negative about it. They were all like, no, you're crazy. Like, you don't need that. Just go to the gym, start eating well, and you're gonna be able to go down in pounds. And so I was like, you know what? Yeah, you guys are right. Like, I was able to do it once. I was able to do it with Noah. I will for sure be able to do it with Luna. 2 months passed and I started struggling a lot with my mood and just my well-being. I was not feeling good. I was not feeling healthy. Ended up being that I was suffering from oh my god, PMDD. PMDD is definitely a hormonal problem. If you're a woman and you suffered from hormones, and especially problems with hormones that make you gain weight, from hormones and gaining weight, like that's not a good combination because it's very hard for you to like balance back your hormones and for you to be able to lose that weight. Even though that I knew that, it didn't took me away from the idea that I could work out, eat good, and still lose weight on my own without being on the medication. I was trying to eat healthy. I was going to the gym and I was doing everything I could. December comes around, I gave myself that time and I was not losing weight. That I was still in the same way that I was, and I just felt worse about myself. So when December comes around, we go on a trip to Orlando where we go to see family, and I see my father-in-law. I see his amazing results. And then not only that, I also get to know that other people in my family were starting to do Ozempic for the same reasons, to lose weight. And I started asking questions like, what should I be worried about? Like, what are the symptoms you've been getting? And all these things. And it's still in my head, but talked with Cyrus again and he's like, no, don't do it, you're gonna regret it, like don't do it, you got this, we can do it, we can go to the gym. On the plane back to California, I finally take the decision that I was gonna do it. And I did. And this is where everyone is asking me, how do you got Ozempic? And I was not very clear when I made that first video. My mother-in-law lives in Miami, and she had friends that were on Ozempic. And she was like, you know what, I think I can get you the contact of the guy that's injecting my friends. Turns out that this guy had a clinic, or has a clinic, in Miami, and she put me in contact with him. I was able to talk to him. One of the first things he asked for was my blood test. Before I got into the medication, everyone around me, especially, like, for example, my father-in-law, he gave me a lot of tips. Also, before starting the medication, I went on the web and I did my own research of, like, the things that could happen, the things that can't happen. I'm gonna tell you guys right now, my side effects were very mild. Like, I barely had side effects. So my first ever side effect was going to the bathroom. Yep, I had too much information, but I had diarrhea right after I injected myself that very first time. Just that one time though. Then afterwards, after that one time, I started suffering from constipation, which was something that everybody around me had told me, if you drink it, this is something that's gonna cause you constipation. That first week, I also experienced the loss of appetite. I was not feeling hungry, or every time I'll look at food, I'll eat just a very tiny amount, and then I'll entirely stop eating. I would get nausea, but I would get nausea when I would spend long hours without eating. I would experience a little bit of nausea or a little bit of, like, lightheaded. My process was very clean, and my side effects were not at all as, like, I've heard a lot of, like, worst side effects, and mine were, like, not close to that. So overall, I want to say I had a very good experience with it. But I prepared myself mentally. I told myself that while I was in the procedure, I was going to take advantage of this, so I could change my mentality on how I viewed food. We're talking about that in the past, food would have control over me. And now I'm in the point in my life, thank God, that I can look at food and I have control of myself. And that was my main goal of this. I feel like I see a lot in the comments on TikTok. People are like, oh, how did she get so skinny? Well, she's on Ozempic. She got like that on Ozempic because she's on Ozempic. And then there's other people saying, well, she eats well and she goes to the gym. But no. It's because she's on Ozempic. And I get it, and I give it. I do give the credit to Ozempic. I feel like I was telling Cyrus the other day, I feel like 80%, it's 100% the medication, but that extra 20% was me putting in the work of going to the gym every single day. So Cyrus and I have been going to the gym every single day except weekend. My eating habits, changing that, like, I used to love pasta, and I still, like, I see it and I'm like, oh my God, it looks so good. I used to love pizza. I used to love mac and cheese. I used to love ice cream. I used to love sweets, chocolate, donuts, cookies, and I stopped entirely. I go more for vegetables, salads, more protein. And so it goes back to that. I entirely changed my eating habits. I got into a good relationship with the gym, and then Ozempic, of course. Now I'm at a point in my life that I'm like, I'm craving to work out. I'm craving to eat vegetables. That was not me. I drink teas before I go to bed, or I try to every night. This is good. Okay. When I got on Ozempic, my goal was to lose 30 pounds, if I'm not mistaken. So I wanted to go from 151 that I used to weight. I wanted to go to 120, 116. That was my goal. However, the actual pounds that I went down was 23 pounds, if I'm not mistaken. I went from 151 to 127 that I weighed. I weighed myself today, and so that has been my weight. The Milagro I know from little is the Milagro that weighs to 116 to 120 pounds. And that's the Milagro I've always known. And that's the Milagro I always had in my head. Do feel content where I am today. Like, I look at myself in the mirror and I'm like, this is me. You know, this is the girl I've always known. This is like, you're back, girl. Like, I started Ozempic on January and I finished Ozempic on April. So 3 months. Do I recommend Ozempic? Honestly, I'm not gonna say yes or no. I'm gonna say do what makes you happy. Like, all I can talk about is positive things about Ozempic because I had a very positive journey, and I think you guys have seen it too. Cheers for my effort, for my hard work, for my dedication, because it was not only Ozempic, you guys. And I still have more to go. Let me know if you guys have any more questions. Hope you guys enjoy my video. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and most importantly, subscribe, because it would just mean a lot to my family and I. Thank you so much for watching. I love you guys, and we'll see you on the next one. Mwah. Bye. Oh my god, now I'm gonna go edit this video. Ooh.